Hey, Aquilla.
Hey, Michelle.
um, the the question for today. I hope you're ready for this. You ready for this? Is how do you handle frustration as a parent?
Wow. Um, that's a excellent question and a very loaded
It's
question.
definitely loaded.
I think if I would have to answer that in terms of uh, who I was and who I am today,
Oh, I like that. Okay.
you know,
Who you
because
were?
I
Wait.
think,
So wait. You're asking who you were as a mother and who you
yeah,
are as a grandmother. I like that.
well, and that was, well,
Great
as a mother
perspective.
again, because I'm a grandmama mama.
Yeah, you're a mother
So
again. How about that?
again now a mother, and in the roles grandmother and mother they very much as alike as they are. They're very different, and so
Okay.
um, I with having to work. I think the way I handled a lot of my situations with my children, in a lot of instances could have been better, and then
Yeah, I can see that.
in some I was stellar.
I feel the same way, actually. Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel the same way. In some areas of motherhood, I had a lot that I needed to learn during the time I was a mother of small children. And but in some areas, I was really great. So,
Yeah.
I think that's normal. But
Yeah.
what parent hasn't lost their temper when their children misbehave? What I think is a parent can stay calm and parent and when your children push that last button, a parent that stays calm despite everything, I think it's a fairy tale myself. But I can count the times where I lost my cool as a parent. But what I did learn is this: when I lost my cool, my I learned that never, 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 never to discipline or fuss at my children when I was upset with life or upset with their behavior. I learned never discipline my children when I was angry or frustrated. That was a lesson that I learned, and that's one that I advise. And I realized that yelling and over punishing, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work at all. Because if they did work, we'd all be called brilliant parents, and we'd have children who was always perfectly behaved after we yelled at them. But
Right.
it does not work.
Yeah. And getting back to really that the whole idea of really just differentiating and different behaviors require different solutions.
Situational parenting.
Yeah, situational parenting.
Yeah.
And so with that, I think what sits at the front of the table is first identifying, you know, um, who I am in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
That okay, if I'm upset because I just got fired from the job, and so I'm coming home, to the child, was told to do this, but you did that. I'm
Mm-hmm.
already in a tizzy because now I got this on my plate. Where what am I going to do now? Okay. And so it's a discipline. Really, it's training
Yeah.
to number one, be able to identify that it's me first.
Yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
always me first,
Yeah.
and
And you know what? I didn't need to read studies about parenting for me to learn and to understand that I need to model the behavior that I want from my children.
yeah,
If I'm
yeah,
yelling at them and going off and do all those things when you are that kind of parent, they're going to go to school and do the same thing. And they're
oh
going to treat
damn,
other people just like you treat them. So what I did learn, the second thing I learned was to model the behavior that I wanted from them. The behavior that I taught was the behavior that I did. Yeah, and so if I was always screaming and, I've seen some parents call their children all kind of names and throw things at them. But what you're teaching your children at that moment is how to fear you. You do want them to respect you, but they don't need to be afraid of you. Because if something happens in their life, either in the house or outside of the house, they'll be too afraid to talk to you about it.
Yeah, and and true, we are our parents' children, and we do take that. We as children internalize all that.
Yeah.
Repetition is a very huge piece of getting a master.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So seeing and hearing it. And I think as young parents, because we can be so overwhelmed, we maybe perhaps don't look at our children being overwhelmed as well.
Yeah, when we're overwhelmed, they pick that up. They pick up how we feel. They know it's another sense in them. If we're afraid, they're afraid. If we're angry, they're gonna be angry at something. They are gonna model the behavior. They'll do the behavior that we show them. The other thing I learned is that instead of punishing them at the moment off the top of my head, is that I need to use their behavior, if it was not good behavior, to set a boundary. And in setting that boundary and setting that limit so they know how not to cross this boundary again, I need to also establish consequences. So if they went outside the boundaries, didn't go in, that went outside of that limit, then I needed to stick to the consequences that I set up ahead of time.
And then I like the idea of restorative justice.
Yeah,
I think that
yeah.
What I see today, like I say, is to talk about the behavior. Okay,
Yeah.
Let's talk this out.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the punishment. Now, why do you think this went down? And really talk about it, so that they can get a visual on it. It's no longer say abstract. It's now very concrete for them, and they can grasp it a lot better.
Yeah, and in the practice of restorative justice and restorative practice, the basis of that is to talk about the harm that I caused.
Yeah.
And then after we talk about the harm that I caused, and you as a parent would know that I understand the harm that I caused, then you need to help me figure out how to restore the harm.
How to restore.
To whomever I harmed. How do I restore that? Excuse me, I've got hiccups.
And that didn't, I didn't, when I started as parenting,
I didn't know all of that.
My fear was that I wasn't going to be a good parent.
And I think we all feared that.
Math, and I didn't know.
Yeah.
That.
I think we all feared that. We all feared that. So these are lessons that we learn as parents. And now we can share those lessons for young people who have small children. And we can use those same lessons that we learn for our own children, with their children and our grandchildren. So I'm going to wrap this up by saying this. As parents, we have to walk the walk that we want our children to walk. And in walking the walk, we have to stay calm through the frustration. We have to learn how to stop before we speak or act. Even if you got to count to 10, count to 25, or count to 100, there's no power in going off. The point is to remain calm and avoid disciplining our children while we're still angry with them, and stick to the limit and the boundary that you set, and stick to the consequences.
Yeah, and community and family is huge. Support. We all need support, and so find those who you can build a shelter around your family through connection, through building relationships, and that can help a lot.
Yes, it can help a lot.
You got somebody you can go talk to, it'll calm you down.
Yes, absolutely.
It'll slow you down.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
And that's, I think, did I think like that back then?
No, I didn't.
No, I don't think. And then
I did not.
For the most part, we get with our friends and we talk.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
To really talk to somebody who got the skills, who went through it.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.